Shamelessly Arguing with Vegans is a book that I have authored. I'm Swati Prakash, and this book is available free on the internet on www.earthhealingnetwork.com, and it contains 150 arguments and the responses that you can give to them, arguments that non-vegans present against the ideas of veganism, arguments that are more likely to be excuses, in some cases misinformation, and in other words, a sense of entitlement, lack of responsibility, and some sort of a personality disorder that has gripped our entire society as a whole. A disorderly state of society has been created, because of which animals suffer incredibly. Nothing explains this state of cognitive dissonance. Nothing can justify the atrocities perpetrated in cruel ways over these poor, innocent creatures who are just like us, with feelings, sensitive, intuitive, kind people just like us. So when we think about all of this as vegans, we know that nothing really is right with this world, and we feel sometimes alone. But I would like to motivate you and say that we are together as one, fighting against this orangutan evil. And for this, to help you, I'm giving some positive messages today. A positive message from this other book and deck for positivity. It is a message for therapy, mental health and well-being, with some mindfulness techniques. It says, wherever I am and whatever I am doing, I can ground myself in the present moment and notice what is available for me to fully experience. Grounding, present moment, fully experience. Now, let us see. 5 things. Name 5 things you can see around you right now. 4 things you can touch. Touch them. 3 things you can hear. Name 2 things you can smell, or find 2 things to smell. Name 1 thing that you can taste, or feel the inside of your mouth with your tongue. Now, when you do these exercises mindfully, what you're doing is getting back into touch with your own body, your own physicality, and your own environment around you. Remember, as a vegan activist, you need to give energy to yourself. You need to be aware that you need to be well. Give yourself time to love yourself, be kind to yourself. Focus on your immediate surroundings, because sometimes we focus on the internet, we focus on what's happening outside in the slaughterhouses, in daily conversations, but we also need to, along with that, give ourselves time, space, self-respect, self-love, so that we can keep going on, be healthy, be fit, be strong, fight the negative forces around us better. So I hope that inspires you and brings back a smile on your face, feeling connected, feeling in power and control of your environment, and then extending that power that you have, that positive energy that you have, outwards a little more, stretching yourself slightly more, as much as you can, as much as you can give, as much as is appropriate. Now, let us see. what you can do today for the animals, which argument can you now bust effectively with this amazing potential you've activated just now. Oh, it's a silly argument, isn't it? Argument 87. Now hear this out. You cannot call plant milk milk. It's not milk. Don't call plant burgers burgers. It's not burger. It's not meat if it's plant meat. So they say don't call the items meat, milk, cheese, etc. Just don't replace plants where we expect dead, murdered animals. A cunning argument. When you say, oh, you can have plant milk, say, oh, that's not really milk. You can have plant meat, that's not meat, don't call it that. Why? Now, dairy lobbyists, they argue about milk and cream being exclusive to dairy industry as if they own the word milk. Now, I will bust this myth effectively. Think about, now I'm from India, okay. We've had Indians, Asians have had coconut milk for so many centuries in the past. We've always called it coconut milk. We've always called the cream of the coconut as coconut cream. Now think about butter. You use plant-based butter all the time in your cosmetics. Yes, you do. And what's going on over here? Where's this confusion? The words milk, butter, even cheese, if you think about it, is a texture, cheesy texture. So you can call plant-based substitute cheese too. Now talk about burgers. In India, when I lived there, I hadn't tasted a burger since I turned approximately about 20 something. That's because it's not part of the culture, it's not part of a staple diet, a daily diet, lifestyle. So when we had burgers for the first time, because McDonald's started opening, and I was just entering university then, I realized, well, burgers are tasty, and they were vegetable burgers. I loved vegetable burgers. I and my sister, we used to go and have the vegetarian chips. There was no animal products on those chips, and vegetable burgers, because McDonald's specially created a menu for India, which was plant-based. Then, in the 90s, can you imagine? Now, in 2020s, the lobbyists of meat and dairy are against plant-based burgers, plant-based sausages, plant-based dairy substitutes. It's ridiculous, because this is something that is happening here in the Western country, in UK where I live, and probably in other Western nations too. But as an Indian, I can effectively bust this myth. There is no truth that you can't call plant-based meats dairy as meats or dairy. We call Indian plant-based sweet meats all the time. Yes, even the, mince pies are not mince meats in the West of animals, but they are nuts and fruits, dry fruits. So, that anything with a meaty texture can be called meat. For example, there is meat in that story, in the newspaper story. It's like substantial, something that's solid. The flesh of the banana. Okay, so all of these things, flesh, meat, milk, butter, all are textures and can be found in plants very easily and comfortably. There is no copyright violations over here. Nuggets. Now let's talk about nuggets. In India, it's common, every household prepares soya nuggets and curry of soya nuggets. That's what we had as children because we lived in Mathura. There's no meat there. Meat was in fact banned there, or even then, or if not banned, at least never consumed. So the only thing that some people who liked having meat occasionally would have was soya nuggets. I wasn't even fond of it, let's say, because I don't like meaty texture, anything that resembles the texture of animal meat. But yes, there are people who consume soya meat and it's curry in India easily. It's not something that's unknown. It's been there for centuries. My mother-in-law taught me how to roast um, sausages made of corn and potatoes and a mixture of vegetables. When we had to prepare burgers and sausages, we just minced vegetables together. And she was in her, I think, late 60s then. So she's left a good many years. And this is a very old recipe of hers. So it's not something that's new for us. It's not new that there are plant-based meats or sausages or burgers or everything in food has been plant-based for centuries. Everything is found, whether it's biryani, pasta. Tomorrow you will say that don't call plant-based pasta because it has to have chicken in it, or something more ridiculous like don't call a tortilla wrap, tortilla wrap unless it's got a chicken in it. No, all those animals are victims. They are dead bodies of cruelly killed, murdered beings who are just like us. The secretions of their mammary glands are just like our breast milk. That cheese is horrible if it's made out of their exploitation, their abuse, if their babies are killed and they are killed for it, and if there is any form of sexual violence against them to breed the animals. Remember, they are farmed, which means they are sexually violated and abused repeatedly to produce babies after babies after babies. So this is something abhorrent. It's not food, it's violence. The right change of terms is required there. So don't change the name of plant meats, okay, or cheeses or milk. Don't fall for that silly, ridiculous, and cunning argument by those lobbyists and those consumers who are anti-vegan and who are doing that for commercial reasons so that they can keep on exploiting not only the animals but you and me as the market. What they want to do is to brainwash us constantly with the advertising and promotion of violence as food and campaign that isn't food. It is murder, it is rape, it is a crime, and it should be banned, and there is absolutely no scope for any further discussion. So I hope that inspires and motivates you, and keep up the optimism, keep up your positive vibes, stay grounded, stay connected to yourself, love yourself, and more power to you.